Alrighty, it's Doc again. Another fun-filled day, and guess what it is? It is TGIF. I'm sure I didn't have to tell too many of you that. And for some of you, it's probably like it's almost midnight, and you're heading into the next day to begin with. So I mean, it's already almost like a Saturday. It's like wow. All right, what do we got going on here at the end of the week? We got a lot of things trying to go after weekly numbers, I'd imagine. We'll see what it's doing there. Let's take a look and see. What do we have up there? Let's get the euro up there to start off with and see what's going on. Not there, not there. Let's move this one over to there. Get that out of my way. There it is there, the 4x. And there's the euro. And you can see it's kind of dancing along. It's trying to get into a buy, really tight market there. Let's slide down to the J4X and see what's going on there. Right there, there we are. Same situation, battling also at the same time. It's trying to do its thing, I guess. It's kind of bouncing along there on the edge. Got a little green thing going on at the moment where we are looking at a red, as you can see up in here. And you can see the white line has moved below what I like to refer to as the three-dimensional zero line. Or it's like a flowing zero line compared to our linear zero line. And so you can see here it's trying to push down. And we are in a daily sell. You can see where's my little red line? Where did it go? Where did it go? Went into the sell right there. 3 days back. Is it 3 days back? So it should say 2 days on the spreadsheet there. Yeah. 2 days, there it is. 17 weeks in a buy and 2 days in a daily sell. And you can see, look at that, right on the edge. We are like dancing along there, just so, I don't know how else to describe that, but on the edge. It wants to, it's going to be one of those horse races at the end of the night. I always love those. They're always entertaining. It's like, oh, you're kidding me. You guys can't, after a whole week, you guys can't figure out where you want to be. If you want to be in the buy, you want to be in the sell. You're like, the money can't figure out what it wants to do. It's pretty much usually the way it always seems to play itself out. So, hey, there you go, Mountain West. How did you make out with finding about changing the color of the line? Options are expiring today, which should make... Yes, what happens is that this is the triple witch. And what happens is that you have quarterly stock index futures expiring at the opening of the bell of the New York floor, if there is such an animal you can actually freeze to. But yes, it's basically the beginning of the trading. So they expire it on the beginning of the trading, not at the end of the trading. Whereas in the afternoon, at the close of the markets today, will be equity indexes, not futures indexes. And they will expire in the afternoon, which the SPY probably has a ton, and the SPX has a ton of options also. So you have index futures expiring in the morning, the diamonds and the NQs, and I think the NQs do it, and the S&P 500 for sure. And obviously that's the real show in town, really. And so so at the beginning of the bell, it will be wild. I thought they expired at 10. No, 9:30 Eastern Standard. So, and it's always a fun thing. It's like a lottery ticket. You're not sure what the hell's going on. I've had options expire, and it's like, they're $10 out of the money, and all of a sudden I am long or short futures. It's like, what? It's definitely an entertaining adventure to watch, that's for sure. And it's a fun, entertaining to trade. It's both. It's a blast either way. And it's that classic arbitrage situation at the very, 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 very end. And at the very, very, very beginning. Yeah, so now, Wes, did you find anything on the changing the color of the lines? This white line, where is it at here? The white line we have, where's my mouse? There it is, the white line there. How do I, put a code in there from multi-charts? We'll see what that says there. And that should be interesting, I think that would be very colorful. I think a lot of people would enjoy that. You know what I mean? That would be a uh, very enlightening characteristic, I would say. You know, I mean that would make sense to me. Copy, and then so I can't do that. Let's do this. Go like that. There we are. Copy. There we are. Nothing so far on that. All right. And I got one last one to go to Robin. So let's compose. Now why won't it do that? Let's go back to. What's up with this? Control V. There we are. All right. Now let's make this number 26. Just got to give Robin one more chart. And we are back in the groove again. Yeah, so that's the expiration of the stock indices. That's a fun and wild time. Always enjoyed that. I found it always entertaining myself. And paste. There we are. So, what else can we say about that? I guess nothing else except for the fact that we're looking at the euro, and the euro just refuses to become very committable, I guess you could say. We will monitor that throughout the trading day for sure. And we'll watch and see how much of an effect it really has. There we are. And there we go. Excellent. Oop. Backspace that. And now we're going to jump over to... Where are we jumping over to? Anybody asking any questions? No questions being asked. So let's jump over to the cable. All right. Let's do it on J4X first. Oh, and Sebastian, if you're out there, we can answer any of your questions you're looking for. Let's see. Where is it at? There is cable right there. You can see it held up. You know, it looks, well, it's like unchanged there. Whereas the euro is in a sell. You can see here, this is holding up in a buy. And they're holding up at the top end of the range, no less. Now, look at this. This is doing the same thing. It's doing that little dance there. It's going to widen this. We should have done the same thing on the euro too. Let's just take a quick look back at the euro and widen that also. Man, that is so close. Oop. Widen like that. There we are. And you can see right there. What is that? So plot 1 is a -4, so it's below the number, and plot 4 is minus also 0.00006. So that is something, huh? Now, I guess some of you can say, why is it so minute? You know, how's your math following something so minute? And it's like, because I designed it to follow particles, atomic particles. So it's that's why it becomes so minute like that. Interesting, eh? Alrighty. Alright, so now there's the cable. Oh, no, we had the euro back up there. So let's just jump back to the cable for a fast second, and then we can jump somewhere else unless someone wants to see any particular product there. And so we're looking at very minute movements inside of a product, and it gives us great insight into the future of where it's going to go. Indeed. Alright. If there's no questions, we'll just jump over to Turkish lira. Let's see what that's doing. There we are. There's Turkish lira. Oh! Oh! I think 59's the high, though, isn't it? No, I guess not. Let's see what happens. Trading at 757.35. Let's put it up here. Looks like it took out yesterday's high, and that is 757.63, and yesterday's high was 756. Like I said, it inches its way, just inches its way along. You know, just inches. That's all it's doing. It's inching its way along, up higher and higher, and then who knows? Some crazy panic will kick out. Prime Minister / President Aragon will do something. It'll make everything freak even more, and it'll jump another half a handle out of nowhere. That's why the margins are so high, and that's why the options are so few. And so that's where we are with that product. There's not a lot of it'd be a wonderful thing to trade if the premiums were around and there was some liquidity to them. Yeah. So that's what we're looking at right now is Turkish lira. God knows the poor thing is going to find its way to launch itself into some double digits someday. Sad but true. Unless something changes economically, this seems to be the plan for the prime minister and the president slash of old and new. The old prime minister, who's now the president, seems to have been driving this product higher. So I mean, he's going from 1.5 since he was prime minister to 7.5. So whatever policy he has figured out, it's going to be very interesting to see how it plays out. Somewhere along the line, I guess he's got some brilliant idea hidden in his head that will do something positive for the country, right? I mean, we all know he loves Turkey. We don't think he dislikes Turkey. So the question is, what is going to be the policy that will get them out of this situation where the currency keeps on doubling every so often? We sure hate to see the idea of a 14 Turkish lira. So we're not happy about that. We think that hurts the population. But we'll see. Not up to me. It's up to them. It's their economics, not my economics. All right. Now, and let's see. Just look at there one more time. Yeah, look at that. That white line, the time manifold is way, way, way up. Not really caring. Just saying, oh, no, we're happy right where we are. You see that? Look at that. Look how high that is up there. So, all right. What is next? I think we're missing a green line. Let's put a green line in there somewhere. Where did the buy go? The buy is right. Well, let's look on our spreadsheet. 3 now, so it must be right there. Yeah, it's got a red and a green dot, so it must have been there, and then it threw the red. Let's do this. Let's do a reload. It's still there. So it seems to be that it was just a red dot when I put it into the buy, then it threw it out there, and then it's been going up either way, so it doesn't matter at this point. So you can consider it 2 or 3, take your choice. All right, where are we now, and what are we doing? Let's see. Okay, there it is. And here we go. FX says, "Hey Doc, hey to you, FX. How are you?" So far, so good. It's TGIF. I'm looking forward to going to Dunkies tomorrow for roast beef sandwiches. And it's Happy New Year to all, and to all a Happy New Year, too. It's a new year. Happy New Year. It's your new year. Do you mean to help me into which way to do made trade? Okay, let's try that over again. Did you mean, or are you trying to help me in which way to manage a trade? Sure, I can help you. What's your question? What can I do it? Sure. Show me the product. Tell me the product. We'll go find a chart, and we'll randomly grab our math and throw it on it, and we'll take a look at it, and we'll show you what our math is telling you to do. Okay, that's what it comes down to. The math tells you, tells me, tells everybody, tells everything what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. And that's what it is. It's the math. So what we're doing here is we look at daily and weeklies. Okay, and in this case here, you're looking at Turkish lira, and what it's saying is that in this case here on the spreadsheet, it says that we have been in a weekly uptrend now. That's line where 17. There it is. So line 17 is representing the Turkish lira, and it has been in an uptrend for 41 weeks in our math. Now, somebody else has another opinion, but as far as we're concerned, at one point in that box was a 1, then there was a 2, and then a 3, and next week it's going to be obviously a 42 instead of a 41. And the reason why that number stands there is this algorithm down here at the bottom, because it's been in a buy like all the way back since December 13th. Okay? So that's how we watch that, how we do this. Now, it was in a buy here, you can see, or it was in a sell there. That's why we threw a little red line in there. But what we're really doing is we're just emphasizing the math itself. Those lines, the red and green, don't mean anything particular. Just the fact that I'm just showing you where it went into the buy again, or where it goes into the sell. Okay? So it's a very simplistic mathematical way of viewing the markets. I've been using it for almost 40 years. We've advanced it a lot over the last 10 or 15 years, even 20, I guess 20 years, we've advanced it even more. Going back about 21 years ago, we really advanced it into this level. And then we really advanced it 8 years ago to start reflecting these lines, this computerization of it. And we've made it automated going back about 2 years ago, 1.5, 3 years ago, something like that, 4 years ago, right around there. We've been working on the automation for 4 or 5 years ago, I guess. But we've really gotten it moving along much better over the last few years. So that's what we're looking at here. And so, and in this case here, the Turkish lira, that red dot shouldn't be there, because when I first went into the buy here a couple of days ago, it was not there. And then somehow or another, data comes into the system and alters certain things. And so what happens when we were red and green dot and we're plus like this with the white line above this 0 line here and the histogram above this 0 line here, what happens is that the opening of the next trading bar with a red and a green with this line up, as long as the black histogram is plus and the white line is plus, and we have a green dot like that, then you can automatically start buying it at the beginning of the bar, not at the end of the bar. Like normally it's at the end of the bar. So that's why we have it up on the spreadsheet here on line 17 as 3 days in a daily buy, not 2 days. Normally looking at the rules, it would be like 1 and 2, and that would be the third day. But since we already had it move into the buy and that red dot wasn't there at the time, I'm just going to leave it there just for the sake that it represents two things. One is it represents that the red dot wasn't there, and two is that it's still in an up mode. That's it. So, and then we have a rule thing. If you're really looking for our rules, we're over at Chicago Quant Technologies. You can find our rules over there. We have them posted, and you can look through the rules, and that always works out too at the same time. So it's a combination of all of it. That's where we are. So if you have a particular product you want to look at right now, let me know, and we'll put it up there right now as a random event, like which I always love, because the math is so good. It's so rare for it to be upside down. So it's more than likely at 9 out of 10 charts are going to look pretty good, okay, and be very accurate. And what we like is it when the daily and the weekly is in a buy together. That's why we we put the green line in there, and it shows you get upwardly bias. And when it goes into a sell, let's grab a sell. Let's put a sell here. And when it went into a sell there, you can't take the short. You can take the profit, because we're in a weekly buy, so you don't really want to take a short. And sure enough, it wasn't that good a short to begin with, because we're in a weekly buy. And now if it was below this white line, it was down below, but it hadn't closed there yet. It was the middle of the week compared to the, confirming. That would be a different story. Hey, Mountain, how many factors go into the results different data points? Interesting question. How many factors? Let's see. I want to say 4, 6. Well, it's a combination of topology, set theory, little Gauss in there, a little Euler in there, grabbing some different things. But overall, I guess, it's. Let's put it this way. I never think of it as too complicated, but then that's me. But points. I think I'm counting in my head 6 points of interest, I guess you could say, or 6 points of math. Let me just do this again. Seven points. 7 mathematical points are in the formula. 7. Okay. Let's see. West says to get your indicator lines to show the way they do. Well, can't we just do this? Can't we like see how this is right here? And not like that, but let's try this again. See, like this right here? And that's plot 4. Okay? That's the white line. All right, here, I'll just emphasize a little bit more by just making it thickerish. See? It's plot 4. So can't I just have a plot 4 function? And isn't there a code that you were talking about yesterday that would make it go red or green if it goes from a plus to a minus? Because this line, see right here, plot 4, like right here where the green line is, see plot 4 is plus there. Whereas right here, it's minus 0.0207. Whereas right here, it is plus 0.0047. And then right there, it's a plus 0.358. And then right there, it's a plus 0.654. And then like here, it falls like it was a plus 0.0394. And then the next day, it's a minus 0.0187. Can't we take that function of plot 4 and put it into a code? You made it sound like it could be done yesterday pretty easily. So not it's it what it no it I see see no it wasn't a code. It was just a convenience. A convenience? What's that? For the trader to see. Oh yeah, well, I agree with you there. But in there codes like that do that? I've seen that. There's codes that do that because I started looking at them. If anybody's getting bored with our technical talk here, I will stop. Just say enough. But if no one cares, then we'll talk about this for a few minutes. Let me find one of these indicators. Insert a study, right? Don't some of these do red and green? Tell me what indicator does that now? You talked from confidence, so you've seen one do it before, right? And so there's got to be an indicator out there that does it now. Can't we take that indicator, implant the function 4 of mine into it, and make it go red and green? My son said he could do it. He's done the coding for this. So I just have to find time for him, for us to do that. But that like 2 months from now, more likely. He said he says he's got a lot of time in December to do stuff like that. And see, no, it wasn't a code. It was just a convenience for the trader to see it at a glance. No, where to buy and sell, where on. Well, you got the zero line too. The zero line keeps you just as honest. Mountain West is not. Let's see, it's not an indicator. No, I've seen indicators that have it on it. You've seen an indicator that does it, right? The other way is to color the line red and green above, below the horizontal line. Right, that's exactly what I'm talking about. That's what I thought you were talking about yesterday. So, all right, well, you keep on looking because I know there are codes that do that. I'm trying to think. I've had some on there. I've done them on Dukascopy too, where they change colors. So there's a code out there that does it. Now all we do is we implant that function with my plot 4 function, and it'll work. That's what I'm figuring. I just thought you were going to be able to hand it to me. Bummer. Yeah, just keep on looking. Maybe you'll find it. If you find an indicator that can do it, look for an indicator that can do it. And if you find an indicator that can do it, then from there you can go try to take that function out. Okay? You know what I mean? So, okay. So anyway, where are we at now? So we were looking at something. What were we looking at? We were talking about the description of how it works for FX Campaigner. All right. Let's jump over to Canadian unless anybody wants to see a product. I don't have to follow these products. We can go to other products. I mean, the spreadsheet here gives you everything that's going on. So that's what's great about having the fact spreadsheet. You don't really need to be looking at the charts. You can just look at the fact spreadsheet, So, but I go through them, and then what it does is the fact check Excel sheet confirms the past history, not counting look at the chart itself. So that is what it is. Okay. All right. So where are we at now? So I guess we'll go to Canadian. So I put Canadian up on the J4X, and these 3 indicators I use to emulate my work. it has a low 70 percentile correlation to my work, which is really high as far as I'm concerned. And so that, you know, that's good. You know, that's a good thing. And now let's take a look at. I mean, it's better than having nothing during the trading day. You got to have something. All right. Now here is the Canadian. It looks like it's trying to lift up again. We got a red and green going on. It went into the sell there yesterday. You see that right there, and that's line 20. Or no, it was in a sell, all right. So it's been in a sell for 4 days. Okay, so now where in blazes was it? I can see what it is. It was a green dot, but it was minus right there, so it can't. Let's put a line in there. Let's fix that. Where? Oh yeah, let's use this mouse. So went into the sell where we had this. We go into a buy here. We're buy here. That's a. They can't go into the sell there. So buy. Red dot, nothing, buy, and then it goes below here. But we're green, so you can't take that. Let me just refresh this. Who knows if more data has come in? No, and then you get a red dot here, and it's a plus. So that's no good. And then you got a green dot here. That's a plus. It's still a plus going on, really. And then, does that do it? That doesn't do it. That does it. So it's a 1. It's not a 4. Okay, so what they must have done on me is they must have switched some data again. It's not me. Trust me. I just... Whoa, not that color. I just follow the dots and the math all the time. That's why we have a fact spreadsheet. So we have to change that to a 1. You know, that's what I hate is it was in a cell. At one point, one of these was a red dot, and it put us into the cell. I'm just going to leave it like that. And then if this closes plus like that, where it's plus on the plot 1 and the plus 4 and the plot 4, and this is a green dot at the end of the day, then we're going to be putting a little green thing in there like that. Okay? If it doesn't, then that won't be there. And in this case here, on the weekly, it's been in a cell for, you know, a bunch of weeks. What is that? Let's look at the spreadsheet again. That's line 20. So 9 weeks it's been in a weekly downtrend. So there we are. No worries. Okay, cool. I was talking about the chart itself, not the indicator. Oh, okay, no problem. No problem at all. Okay, easy peasy. We're easy to get along with here. All right, and when anybody volunteers to do some help, I take it very quickly. Because I am like a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs. I am busy all the time. I mean, like, busy. For 40 years, I've been busy. I just keep busy. Sometimes are busier than other times, but I am busy. All right, now let's. What are we doing next here? Let's take a look at Swiss. Let's check out Mr. and Mrs. Swiss. 16 weeks in a week. 16 weeks in a weekly downtrend. 1 day in a daily downtrend. Let's take a look and see if the provider of data has shifted on us again. Okay, so that's that. And let's see. Let's put it in J4X. So you can compare your lines to make sure, understand how they're moving relative to our lines. There's that scary word Einstein stole. All right, right there. You can see it has that cute little bounce down there just like that on the white line. See that? That's neat, huh? And it gets, look, it's going through the dash line just like mine is going through the 0 line. So that's pretty cool. All right, now let's widen this a little bit and get a better flavor of it all. And so we went into a sell there, and then we must have gone into a buy somewhere around in here. But now look at, we got red and greens on 2 days in a row going on a third day. Ugh. I hate when they change data. They just plowed new data and then it changes my work. And so you can see here that was a minus, so it can't get into the buy. So it never got into a buy, it's saying, basically. So it's basically saying that we went into the sell here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and it's the 8th day in a sell, really, and not a 1. It's an 8. Right there. And today is the 9th day. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, it's 7 days. 7. So make that 7. There we are. Dude, not 87. 7. There we are. And you can see it's trying. There's no red dot, at least, after a couple. Wasn't there a red dot a few seconds ago? There was a red dot in there a few seconds ago. All right, so anyway, it's trying to lift up in here. And you can see here on the weekly, we are minus 0.00009, and plot 4 is 0.00016. So it's right on the edge. It is right on the edge. Let's just give this a refresh again. Reload a week. Why not? There it is. So that's what's going on there. Sebastian, okay. You were looking for some answers? I am in a 2-week free. Oh, nice. Trial, received pictures, but understand nothing. Makes two of us. All right. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to explain to you again how this works right here, right now. All right. So what happens is this is the weekly trend. Okay. And when it started off in a weekly trend right up in here. Our weekly signal, we take a weekly signal of our math at the close of Friday. It confirms the signal being in a cell. And then we go over to our fact check spreadsheet and we put a 1 in the box where 9 is now. And then each week, as long as our math is saying be in a cell, we just keep on putting more numbers in. 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, 6. Each week it reconfirms it. We just put another number in there. And it tells us that we went into the weekly cell there. Now, on the daily, you can see there's a lot of noise there, but let's just look at it closely. And so in the daily right now, it went into the daily cell right here. So that's a safe short. When the daily and the weekly, now why is it up there? It shouldn't be up there. Remove that. Didn't even realize it was up there. No one really follows Swiss with me, so I don't update it as much as I should. There we are. I mean, I do this fact check spreadsheet every night and clean it up, but I don't fill in the charts with extra help. And so it went into the cell here. So it says that you can be short the product overnight, and you go hunt for a profit. Any profit in there is something you should take. Use your good money management skills to have stops and so forth. Or if you're using options, it's a lot easier. You can short call spreads, you can be long put spreads. You can do all kinds of things that are much safer and easier to make money with. But if you're just trading the hard delta, it means that it was safe enough to be short overnight from that close there. And you can see here, it did go down, gave you instant gratification the next day. And then it went sideways, bounced up, and played around, and did so forth. And then it, at one point, I believe it went into a buy for a couple days here, and we didn't have that red dot. And we had it marked in there. And then what it does is it tells you not to get long. It's telling you to just be neutral. Okay, that's how that works there. And so that's what that is. That's telling you to be neutral, okay? So now, let's see. And you know what, Wes and Sebastian, what we can do is we can look at a couple of the products you guys are watching, because I know both of you are watching the cable too. So, and we can see the same thing. Now today, first of all, it's on the edge of a weekly buy. So it needs to close above that, okay? And the close of 5 o'clock Eastern Standard or 22 GMT is what we're watching for. Now, let's go over to another product as an example. We're going to find a few examples of the math at different stages, and this will give you more insight. Now, let's look at cable. Now, there's cable there. And then let me just open this up, because I'm sending you the cable from this page right here. Let's just compare the two, make sure they're right. Because the one I use on Dukascopy might have a little twist more in it, different way or something like that. It just might. But you can see here, it went into a buy 3 days ago. You can see we had the red and green the day before. Okay, and so if the product closes with a red and green and we're through like it was here, okay, that at the beginning of this bar, as long as it's showing a higher histogram and a white line above the 0 line, then it's a safe buy at the beginning of trading of this bar, not at the end of it. Okay, and it means it can be carried overnight if it's in a weekly buy. Hence, it is not. Okay, see that right there? It's been in a weekly sell for a full week, and it still is. So you can't take the long as an overnight trade. Now, if you're trading very short term and you have the system live, of course you'll be able to trade it a little bit more freely. Or if you're trading options, if you're buying a bull spread, you go, wow, it went into the daily buy, but it's still in a weekly sell. Maybe I shouldn't play with it because the odds against us are a lot of making a win. But if we do a bull spread in options, then there's a good chance that you know what your limited risk is, And if you buy something with like 50 or 60 days, you know that if it goes up, you get a chance to sell it out for a profit. And if it falls down, you know what your risk is already, and you won't get shaken out of it. And if it's like this, the next day it did go up, and it's been going up, so your bull spread is probably making a little money, not a lot, but if you bought it off of this, then obviously it went from say the 28.80 area up to the 30 area. So it went up 200 pips. So you should be able to dig a little profit out of that. Okay? And that's another stage. This is a stage where you have the weekly. And let's shrink this down a little bit so you can see it better. You have the weekly in a sell. So you can't take the buy as an overnight trade, trading hard delta. Only in an option spread could you do that. And so, or extremely short-term trading, and you don't have the tools to do that, so you can't do that. Unless you have tools that help you out on a short-term trading. And so that's how this whole thing works. It works in that unison. Now you can see here, we went into a daily sell, okay? But we were in a weekly buy for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. 7 weeks, I'm sorry. And you can see that following week, it was bending down. It was going through the time manifold right here in the middle of the week or towards Thursday. And it was pushing, and then there's Friday. So it was Wednesday, it started to touch the time manifold, and Thursday it was below it, and we were in a daily sell because of that right there. Now there's a green dot there, so that's no good. That's got to be moved over one, like there. There we are. And that's the daily sell right there. So it gave you the insight, and you can see on the daily, looking on Doc's chart every day, that the product had broken the time manifold there, and then it actually pierced the time manifold there. I mean that's all you're looking for is this, but it broke the zero line, broke the time manifold, broke through this time manifold. So any long that was riding this thing, say from here, from that buy signal, should not be long at this point. First of all, they should have been taking profits to begin with. So that's the gig right there. Hey, there you go. Hey, Robin. We're doing a little chat about the way to read the lines here. And so, I don't get a chance to say that out loud enough. If you're trading options with our math, it's a lot easier than trading the hard delta. And that's one of the ways of using this better, is using options. But everybody gets scared every time you say options. You got the 5 scary words of the 5 scariest words in the universe or our known planet, and especially in the financial market, they're probably the 5 scariest words in the financial world of Earth. Call, put, strike price, premium, expiration. Those 5 words probably terrify people. I bet they terrify 9 out of 10 people. I bet they terrify 9.9 out of 10 people. They're the scariest words in our one of the scariest words in our civilization. Yo, Sebastian. What's up? What's up? I did. I said hi to him. I did, Robin. I promise you. Howdy, howdy. And then you'll hear me singing a Roy Rogers song at the end. All right. So that is how we read that. Now let's go find another one. Let's see. Let's look at AUD. AUD today is playing with the daily sell last I looked. And let's widen that out and investigate that. And let's widen that. Like that. You can see here the white line is minus. The histogram is minus. So plot 1 and plot 4 are minus. All right. There's no dot here at the moment. And so that is telling us that it's basically trying to play with a sell. But look at this thing. It's so far off the screen anymore. 22 weeks in a weekly buy at this point. See, all the way back here in the, what is that? Move that over. The 62 area, it went into a buy. Let me fix this chart so we can see this better. There we are. And then we can, so you can see here, it went into the weekly buy. Let's go back there again. So it went into the weekly buy here. Let's go find the spreadsheet of it. There it is right there on line 12. So it's 22 weeks now in a buy, 5 days in a buy. Okay. So when it went into the buy here, it was saying to you that you could be long overnight. Now, with hard delta, I can't, I can't justify saying anything crazy like, be long it when it's in a weekly sell, because we want to keep that 8.5 out of 10 accuracy. And so, but when you're trading options, your risk factor is so much lower and your potential gain is so much higher. So that it's a lot easier to trade options following this stuff versus hard delta. But hard delta works too. And people are out there trading hard delta. So this is probably one of the greatest tools on the planet to trade hard delta. And again, obviously we're talking the evil call, put, strike price, premium, and expiration. Yes, indeed. So they're scary words, I know. They're probably pornographic in financial ways. They probably rape, pillage, and murder, so on and so on. All right. Anyway, that's where we're at. Okay, so there's another evolutionary, intra-evolutionary visual of it. Now so you can't take shorts, but you can only take longs. And now this is trying to tell us that obviously it might not want to be, you don't want to be in the long again. And we always like to say that a daily sell number can lead us to a weekly sell number. It doesn't always happen, but it can happen, and it does it a lot. And obviously it does in the end. Now let's see, what are both of you following? Let me go take a look and see. Both of you, what else is both of you? Both of you are following the euro, right? You both follow the euro? Let's see. No, you're following gold. Swiss and GBP for Sebastian, and currency-wise for Mountain West is, where are you, Mountain West? There it is, right there. You're looking at Aussie and New Zealand and cable and euro. All right, so the two of you are watching cable for sure, and so that was a good thing there. Euro, yes. Want to take a look at the euro? Let's take a look at that, because that's doing another thing as usual, like most products do. They're dynamic. They're not stagnant, And so you can see here, this product, let's do the little scrunchy thing there. This thing's been in a buy since 522, which is line 14. Let's light it up. Light that puppy up. Someone's going to be kissing the donkeys. Okay, there it is right there. Line 14, we have 17 weeks in a weekly buy. And it almost got in there. You can see that. And then what do we got here? So this is thing. What is it doing here now? Let's take a look and see. So we are plus 0.9 here on the plot 1, and plot 4 is plus 16. So it's just holding on still by the edge of its chinny chin chin. You can see we went into a sell here off of this one here for 2 days. Let's see if we have it right on the spreadsheet. Right there. Yep, 2 days right there. You can see 17 days, 17 weeks and 2 days. There we are, going in opposite directions. And so the buy, I don't know, it was okay, I guess. It was right. One of these, what was that? 3 back? Something like that. I think that's the buy right there. So it closed at what? 84? No, 1846. 1846. Next day's high was 1887. So there's 41 pips. Next day's high is 1908. That's 47. That's 54 pips. So, it gave you a chance to make some money out of it. So that's it. Now, Sebastian and Mountain West, does that make sense to you? And anybody else out there, does these lines and the way I described them, does that make more sense now, understanding how to read this product? Or not the product, but read the indicators. Our quantitative weekly quant signal. That's why I call them signals, because they are. They signal you the direction of things. Does that all make sense? Yo, yo, yo! What's happening, IVB? I saw you made me, you and I are friends somewhere now. LinkedIn, maybe? That was cool. Oh, I'm glad, Mountain West. This way. How about you, Sebastian? Does that feel a little bit more comfortable? We can go look at another product. There's no problem at all. We can go look at gold. Gold is doing something fun. So, que pasa, IVB? Que pasa? What's cooking? It's Friday, huh? Yeah, LinkedIn. That was cool. Let's see. Sebastian is saying down is the week, the middle is the hour. No, 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 no. This is a daily. That's why it says day quant there and then weekly quant. That's what that is. That's a weekly one. That's a daily one, and this is the daily bar chart itself. Yeah, so that's how that rolls. Yes, indeed, indeed. Yeah, so the top is the bar chart, the daily bar chart. The day quant signal is the daily day quant signal, and the bottom is the weekly quant signal. No hourly, but we was it yesterday? We were looking at half hourly ones, which were interesting. I see. Sorry. Okay, only weeks and dailies, and the last red line is from a day sell. Red line would be a day sell. So red is sell, green is buy. And yesterday we were looking at you know what, IVB, you got anything you want to look at? We'll see what the math is saying about it. We'll give them another example. Any product you want to look at? You want to look at the peso, or you want to look at the what was it? You look at the peso, and you look at one other product that's interesting. The peso is very impressive, I think. Peso has been looking very good. Why don't we do that? Let's go look at the peso. And then IVB also has a second product he likes to look at. I forget what it is, but it's in here somewhere. That's what we did. Didn't we look that for you? The cable peso right there. Let's see what that's doing. There's cable peso. Look at that. That's interesting. So this is a really winner chicken dinner. Look at that one. So it went into the daily sell here, off of that one right there. And then, let's see, that's the first, the second, third, fourth. And at the end of that week, and at the same time, you can see here on the first day of the week, I guess right there. So is that? Yeah, so the first day of the week, it broke the time manifold right here. Let's make that time manifold bigger and thicker. And we'll give you good examples there, Sebastian and Mountain West. And anybody who's else out there asking questions about it, it's fine with me. I'm glad to repeat this stuff. And so then, because I learn even when I'm repeating it. Like I didn't, I rarely ever say anything nice about those scary options. I never say nice things about them. Oh, Magoo, you've done it again. Oh, Lucy, I'm telling you. Anyway, yeah, so there's your sell right there. And notice that during the week, this thing's drifting down, okay? By the end of the week, it confirms into a sell. And so, it's telling you that it wants to go down in value. And look at that, baby. There was instant gratification there, like, mama, baby. Yeah, let's just longed it today. Let's take a look at that. And we'll go back for Sebastian's asking for gold. We'll do that real quick, too. Let's see. Let's do gold really quick for you to give a quick picture. But let me first put the peso up there, and then we go back to that. Where are you? There's no way no way in the world I removed the peso. No way. It's here. It's got to be. I know it is. It's got to be dollar peso somewhere around here. I don't think I took the GBP in, did I? Did I do that really? That's so hard to believe. I always have the peso up there. I guess I did. I'm sorry about that, traders. Let me remove this. Let's activate that and delete it. And at the same time, we're going to jump over to here. Where are we jumping over? There's gold. There's gold. And you can see we've been in a weekly sell from here. We got the thing telling it it's a time manifold. Another one there telling it a time manifold. And then you can see here, went into the sell on a weekly here. You can see we got a day sell there. The product closed at 66 basically, ran up to 79. You were $13 in the minus. By the end of the day, it closed at 70 with a low of 60. So you could get out of it for a profit, no doubt about that. Then the next day, instant gratification, and it trades down to 38 from 66 and closes at 49. And you can see today it's trying to lift up. All right, now let me go back and fix. We can go back and look at that again, Sebastian. And let me fix my error. I can't believe I got rid of the peso because I like looking at that once in a while. Let me go back. It's that one right there. I can't believe I got rid of the peso. I'm gonna. No, not that. I didn't want to do that. Okay, so let's just go down the line again. I can't believe I got rid of the peso. I guess I turned it into the GBP peso. That's what it was. Euro GBP, Euro Aussie, New Zealand CAD, New Zealand dollar, yen, cable yen, cable Mexican peso, dollar, South African rand. I knew it was right next to it. I did. I turned it into it. So what we're going to do is this. We're going to activate that again. We're going to copy that, and we're going to put a new chart up there and make it stay there. Stay. Don't get lost. Stay. File. Copy window, file, paste window, and then what we're going to do is we're going to change the internals. USD, right there. And do that one. Same thing again. Whoa, not that. This morning I was doing something, and it was for Sebastian, and and I had everything done, and then I went and did that. Like I moved the cursor, and it wiped out like the whole center chart. I was like, no! I was putting all those lines in. Okay, all right, here we go. Let's grab this one right here. So went back into the buy there. And then went back into the sell there. And it's been in a weekly sell for 2 weeks. 2 weeks? No. Oh, I see. It's been in a weekly sell since there. And so what's that? 2, 4, 6, 8, going on the 9th week. And then let's fix those lines. That sell is where? Right there? Right there, I guess it is. Yeah. And that sell is right there. Yeah. And that buy is correct. And then that sell is right. And then the buy there on that one. Let's put the buy in there. And then what did that do? That put it into a buy. So we go like that. That did put it into a buy. And then this sell jumped out the next day. And I forgive the gaps. It's got to do with my data provider. If I change the parameter, it changes things. It doesn't have any effect on the math at all, but it's a pain in the ass. Let's see. And then you can see there. So you see when it went into the sell here, you know, it gave you that. I guess it was like that would be Friday, right? And there's Monday. There's Monday, yeah. So, and this was here Friday. So on Friday, it went into a weekly daily sell back in July. And it gave you instant gratification the next day. It smacked down. And then it, you know, gave you a warning here that we're trying to turn up. And, you know, came through the time manifold and the histogram and the white liner plus, but gave us double dots there of a red and a green. So you don't want to take the long, but you would buy this area here. You know, the close of this bar and the opening of this bar, you would buy it in the first half hour there. And so, you know, it's a winner chicken dinner, and you catch that whole ride up. So there you are there. And see, what did you say, IVB? You did what? You're long or short it? Let's see. Just longed it today. Let's see what's going on here. You're fighting the trend again. It's in a downwardly trend at the moment. But maybe it'll come into, you know, it would be nice if you see how this white line is like busting through there. If it was busting through there, you'd have a lot of higher percentage of a success rate. But you know what? You know, it may not go too far. We'll see. You know, but right now you are fighting the trend. Yeah, you're fighting the trend at the moment. And the chances of this math being right is like 8.5 out of 10. So you're dealing with some tough math there. Let's see. So sorry, I'm wiggly. All right. So Sebastian and Mountain West and anybody else out there, it's all making sense. Does my lines make more sense now? And again, not the scariest, but without a doubt, options are a good way of trading this more than trading the hard delta. That's for sure. But the problem is that options are not that liquid in a lot of places. And, so it makes it tough. It does make it tough. So that's where we are. All right. What else is brewing? Anybody else want to see anything else? We got a few more minutes, and then we're going to jump. Oh, you know what we should do? I should do a title. I just realized yesterday I was stunned. I was bounced. I was pulled so far, so fast away from my thought of the webinar that I didn't realize until like 3 o'clock. Oh, and my Skype went off the line too. Damn Microsoft, what a pain in the ass they are. So let's see. What is the title today? Let's see. We're going to call it title today. Let's see. What are we going to call it? TITLE. So we're going to say how to use our charts. You know what we should do? Let's see. Let's change that. Let's get rid of that. We're going to call it something like title today. And we're going to call it, oh, there we are. Charts with options or spot. How to. That's what we're going to go. That's what today's title is going to be. All right. What do we got here? Let me look down again. Sebastian, yeah, okay. Yes, thanks. And the time of the red or the green bar for sell and buy is the end of us. It normally is, but the thing is that if it has this, let's see if we can find an example. Here's a good example. Well, no, I guess that's not it. Here's a good example right here. Let's say, put a little box around it even. Here's a good example. Okay, right there. You got the white line in the histogram through the zero line, but obviously we're not in a weekly buy, so you can't really get long it in a spot or futures way, only an option way. And then what happens is that the next day, or the next bar, it's not the next day, it's the next bar, you notice that the histogram now is ripping up, the white line is ripping up strong, and so you can buy it in the first minutes or a half hour of the next trading bar. But you will not see it on our charts until the next day. And even then, what I'll do is I will take, in this case here, because it had the red and green, I will put the green line there. But since we're in a weekly sell, it's just telling you to be careful, don't be short anymore. That's all it's telling you from this short here up at the what is that, the 2280 area. 2280? 2228 area. 2228 area. It's telling you not to be short anymore out of this move. It's telling you that it wants to go up. And it does. It goes up in value. But due to the fact that people are trading spot and futures, there's no way I can condone suggesting anything like that. If you're trading options, of course you could put an option spread on. Just with the red and green. But if you're trading like 99.9% of the population, you're trading, hard delta, the stock or the future or, the spot, hard delta. The underlying product, naked long or naked short. And so that's the only time it doesn't. Does that make sense? Hey, Sylvia, how you doing? Well, we got to get out of here. Doc's getting out of here. He's saying arrivederci. Everybody have a safe and smart weekend. And Sylvia, it was nice seeing you, stopping in and saying hi. And we will be back at this again on Monday, and we can do the same conversation. Look at different products. Look at the way the charts work. It'll be just a repeat in some ways, but it'll be a more affirmation of it, and we can do that. So this is Doc from North America saying be safe, be smart, and catch you on Monday. And at the same time, happy trails to you. Until we meet again. I love Roy Rogers. Happy trails to you, to all my trading friends.